Hi there, welcome to another painting tutorial. In this episode, we're going to paint a ladybug, so let's get started. And let's start with the darkest values. So I'm going to take a size 0 spotter brush. And then let's take some black paint. And let's put in the head of the ladybug. And if you would like to paint along with me, you can just find the link for this sketch in the description below. Okay, so let's put in this head area so we can make it, well, it's still wet. Let's add some gray paint. So we'll take a little bit of titanium white, mix a little bit of black in there. Let's put that in and then see if we can kind of blend it together. And hopefully that will give us a little bit of dimension here. Kind of mix the black and the white together on your palette or on the page. And then you can take a little bit of water and kind of blend that together. So we just want a little bit of a lighter space in the middle just to give us a three-dimensional look. Okay, I think that's good. And now let's take some black paint and then go along this kind of stripe down the back. And then we can also try to put in this little area. Kind of looks like a heart shape. And that sort of connects towards the head. And let's bring that all the way down. Okay. So now let's switch brushes. So I'm gonna switch to a size 4 flat brush. And let's do kind of some blocking out with some of this dark maroon color. And I might actually also add maybe some burnt umber and some burnt sienna. And then let's see if we can just kind of outline the shape of the ladybug. I'm using the edge of that brush. And let's go around here. Just letting those colors kind of blend together. Some red and some brown. Okay, and now let's switch to a maroon color, just straight maroon. And let's try to put that in and start building a little bit of form with this color. So we'll put it along the outside edge. And then let's use a damp brush and then see if we can kind of blend that color in. See if we can kind of, doesn't really want to blend too well. It's okay. So it's kind of drying very quickly on me. So what you could do is grab a little bit of flow medium and add that into the mix. That really helps your paint to flow better. Okay, so now let's go with a straight red. This is a primary red. And we'll add that in. Really trying to get like a three-dimensional shape here by kind of changing the values from dark to light. Okay, so now let's switch brushes. I want a little bit of a softer brush. So I have the size 6 filbert. And now let's take some yellow paint. And I want to try to mix the yellow and the red together, kind of working wet on wet. And you can see how that's going to make a really bright, vibrant orange. That's exactly what we want. Okay, and you can kind of just blend that out. That's going to give you a nice really bright and vibrant area there. And then on the other side, it could be maybe a little bit of a duller shade. So let's take some of this burnt sienna and put that on the other side. It also has a lot of orange in it, but it's just a little bit duller. Okay, so now let's move back into the head area and add a little bit more detail to that. So I want to mix up, I have some titanium white and I want a little bit of a gray color. And I want to try to put some lines on here. So we want to bring back the structure of the head. And we kind of lost that in our sketch. But I just want to try to use the tip of the brush and just bring back some of that shape in the head. And I'm going to try to kind of feather that as a bit of a highlight there. Trying to make it look three-dimensional. Okay, and then probably let that dry. So while that's drying, let's move on to the flower. So I'm going to stay with a 0 brush pointed round, and let's put in some dark values for the flower. So I'm going to take some purple, a little bit of ultramarine blue, and then a little bit of black, and see if we can add that as a really dark value for some of these flowers. So we'll try to outline a little bit. Okay, and then let's grab the purple, that vibrant purple, and let's put it on the ends of these flowers. And while the paint is still wet, I'm going to take a pastel purple. If you don't have pastel purple, you can just add a little bit of white to your purple. And then I'm just going to work wet on wet and try to blend that area. And then I'm just going to add to this area. You can kind of change the value of the flower. This is pretty loose and not too precise and not too exact. Try to get some crisp edges. And then you can take some titanium white and see if you can do some further blending there. I think that looks nice. And then I have this light blue color and I want to add that onto the flowers too. That's just going to give a little bit of variety. Okay, so now let's add some green. So I have this mint green and let's add that into the flower, kind of extending. I'm going to go out here with it, kind of extending it towards the stem. And now let's add a dark value of green. So I have this evergreen. I'm going to add a little bit of this burnt umber to mix up a pretty dark color. And then let's see if we can add that along the bottom of the stem to act as kind of a shadow. And then we'll take the straight evergreen and go on top of that. And then I have this beautiful spring green. Let's put a layer of that on next. We're doing a lot of wet on wet technique here. And at the end, I just want it to be really loose and not have a lot of detail because the ladybug is the focus. And then let's take a little bit of yellow and see if we could put that in the stem just to kind of make things pop a little bit and act as a highlight. I could also add some titanium white into there as well to lighten that value. Okay, so I might actually go back and add a little bit of a darker color to the tips of these flowers down here, just because I like that gradation of color. Okay, so that's about all you need to do to the flower. Pretty simple and easy. So now let's take, I'm going to take the size, let's do the 4 filbert, and let's add some spots to the ladybug. So we can take a black color and let's put that on this side. And then let's add maybe a couple spots over here. See if you can kind of press down and get some natural looking spots here. You don't want to do too many. I want it to look nice and natural. So I think that looks good. And then you can take your zero spotter and you can take some Ultramarine Blue and then see if you can mix that blue into the black. And that's just going to help give a little bit of a brighter, more interesting color. Okay, so then let's put in a little bit of a highlight. So I'm going to take, let's see if we can add this light blue as a highlight. Put a little bit over here and just try to blend it out. Okay, and then let's add, I'm going to take some white and try to add kind of the eye area. It's got a little bit of an eye showing on this side. Whoops, we got too much water. Okay, and then I want to add a little bit more of a white line. Then I can go back with some black and try to make those lines a little bit thinner. Just kind of add another layer there to add a little bit more detail. Okay, so I think I might add one final touch. I might take a little bit of white, maybe put it here as a highlight, and maybe mix a little bit of yellow into that. Just try to blend it a little bit, make it look more natural. Okay, and then we might add a little bit, let's take some gray and see if we can add just a little bit of the impression of a leg here. Okay, just something kind of subtle. Okay, so we'll call this painting complete. I hope you get a chance to paint along with me. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos, and we'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye!